Shalom everyone, welcome to another edition of thewayofthemosthigh.ca. I was supposed to be speaking with Shaun Kennedy. He must have amnesia or something. We were supposed to be talking about the fact that New Testament claims that there was always blood up until Yeshua, Jesus. So this is what Shaun Kennedy said. I asked him if he was around. He said, "No, I'm not." He said his book sales have increased. He made $100. Big deal. I said, "Nothing to do with me. Nice job avoiding video debate." He said he didn't have any clue about it. He said I had the wrong person. Well, okay. Anyway, clearly a person who did not want to address the idea that Yeshua or Jesus ended all offerings, that there was always blood prior to Yeshua or Jesus. And that's the claim that the New Testament makes. The New Testament pretends that somehow there was always continual offerings up until Yeshua or Jesus, and he somehow ended the offerings. Little do people know or realize that for hundreds of years prior to the New Testament, there was no offering. There was no slaughtering. They didn't even have a place of worship and slaughtering prior to the New Testament or Yeshua, Jesus. So, are we supposed to believe that when the Babylonians entered into Jerusalem, the Babylonians overcame Israel, the Greeks overcame Israel, the Assyrians overcame Israel? They were scattered to the four corners of all the lands. They weren't able to observe Passover. They weren't able to observe Day of Atonement. None of those things. So this idea that the New Testament, Yeshua, Jesus, somehow comes along, he becomes an offering to fulfill the offerings. He wasn't even offered on a proper altar. At least when we read Genesis, when we read about Abraham and Isaac, we see he brings his son, he's going up the mountain, his son has the wood on his shoulder or his backpack, whatever. They go up the mountain, they prepare the altar, they put the wood on the altar. Isaac, Yitzchak, lays down, he's ready to become a burnt offering. Abraham raises the knife. He's ready to offer his son, Yitzchak, Abraham and Isaac. And he's ready to slit the throat of his son to become a burnt offering. Because he understood, this is what Yah wants. Yah wants me to offer my son as a burnt offering. Was Yeshua, Jesus, ever offered as a burnt offering? No. He was nailed to a board. If we accept that that's actually historically true, I have not found any proof of Pontius Pilate, any Roman record, or any Jewish record for that matter, from the 1st century, dating to the idea that Yeshua or Jesus was executed on a board, a upright stake, or a cross, or whatever you want to have it. So, I was supposed to debate Shaun Kennedy tonight, and he says that no, I'm misinformed. He has no recollection of it, but whatever. If any of you have questions, feel free to inbox me, email me, comment on my video. Yah be with you. The truth of the matter is, Yah never said anywhere within the Old Testament that he was going to send some son that was at his right hand. to be nailed to a cross to atone for people's transgressions. Yeshua, or Jesus, is claimed as the Passover lamb. Passover is not an atonement offering, it is a remembrance offering. To remember when Yah brought us out of Mitzrayim, or Egypt, to become a people unto himself. So, that's my short video for today. Looking forward to debating or discussing with possible scholars or pastors in the future. So far, I've just been opening the dialogue to regular people like David Reichner or Sharon Benton. Hasn't been very professional, hasn't been, exactly what I had with Lou White or Pastor Matthew Jansen, but feel free to check out those previous debates as well. And until next time, worship Yah, follow Genesis to Deuteronomy, who said, Deuteronomy chapter 6 and 13, do not add or take away from the laws that I command you. Deuteronomy 30, future prophecy, said specifically that in the last days, his people amongst the nations would come to understand Yah and the Torah. They would repent, they would return. And then Yah would overturn the governments of the nations and return them to the promised land and establish his presence, his tabernacle once again. I look forward to that day when Yah himself will be present in his tabernacle, his tent, in Yisrael, in Shechem, between the two mountains where he commanded his people every year to go up and recite the favor for obedience. If you follow the Torah, the commands, and follow Yah, and do not worship a false mighty one, if you're just worshiping him, then you would be favored. Shalom for now, from the way of the Most High.ca.